All right, so hey guys, just want to tell you that I survived, did not have COVID. I had a viral upper respiratory, but that caused me to miss last a good portion of last week. Um, I was tested twice, and I was negative for both COVID and the flu on both of those tests. So I appreciate your patience last week and really through the month of September because I had to be out a number of times with a couple of things. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to get moving on ahead. Just want to let you know everything from here on out is on the second 6 weeks. So, all right. So, one of the things I just posted there was about dimensional analysis. And um, dimensional analysis is a tool that we use in chemistry to help us with our math because we do a lot of math. And through that, we have to convert through units and other various things. We use it all year long, and it's a great way. It's a great method to use. I use it in daily life. You know, it's one of those things where you wonder when you're going to use it, but if you learn how it's used, you can use it for a lot of things. So, if you have to convert from feet to meters or whatever, as long as you know the conversion factors, you can use it all through there. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to look at some of those worksheets that I just posted online for you on this assignment right here, dimensional analysis and metric conversions. So let's pull this up to, well, I'll do that in a minute. But let's look at let's see, instructions. Okay. Okay, let's look at this one first, the dimensional analysis worksheet. Okay, and you can see that these worksheets that I posted here, let's go ahead and open it up with Cami. That they all have examples that you can use to do these. There's also examples in your book. Um, so, just reading along here, using this method, it is possible to solve many problems using the relationship of one unit to another. For example, 12 inches equals 1 foot. Since these two numbers represent the same value, the fractions 12 inches to 1 foot, 1 foot to 12 inches are both equal to 1. When you multiply another number by the number 1, you do not change its value. However, you may change the unit. So, you can see that I really don't like to do this one too much because, as you can see, there's a lot of non-metric numbers on here, like yards to inches, hours, seconds, which I guess is still metric. But, well, I guess there is quite a few. But this is a good example. And I'm going to go through and do a few of these here with you just so I can walk you through some of these steps and then I'll turn you loose on your own to do so. So let's do problem 1 right here. All right. Well, actually, let me write the problem down so I can remember what I'm doing here. Okay. So the first one wanted you to convert 3 hours equals how many seconds? Well, we all know that, but let's see how we do it in dimensional analysis. Okay. And then we'll set up the second one. Micrograms. He wants to go to centigrams. Let's do moles. Number 6. That's a good example to use because we'll be using that extensively once we get to stoichiometry. And let's do 8 molar volume. Okay. 5 moles. All right. So apologize. I should have had that written down already, but so let's pull it up here to this where you can see. Again, I've learned some pretty decent tools here to help us with this. Hopefully you guys are understanding when I'm doing these. All right. So with dimensional analysis, the first one is asking. It's basically asking in 3 hours. What is that in seconds? Okay. So we start with 3 hours and we want to go to seconds. So what we do is the way I explain this and years of doing it, it's probably not the way a math teacher would teach you how to do it, but all right. So whatever I want to get rid of is going on the bottom. So that's going to be hours, the units of hours. Basically, you're doing 2 different math problems in one. You're calculating numbers, and then you are converting units. Okay, so you're doing 2 things at once, and this system helps you to do both of those and keep track of it. So with the first one, we have again 3 hours, and it wants to know how many seconds are there in 3 hours. Again, we know that in our heads already, but this shows a way. And by the way, with all these, I would like to see your work. Okay, so when you turn in your work, don't just write the answer. Please show your work so that I know what you're doing, and I can help you along that way. What I think we're going to need to do is we're going to have to start doing Google Meets now, where basically it's live. So we're going to have to, on Mondays, we're going to have to set some times for you guys to hopefully meet with me for like an hour online on a Google Meet so that we can do all these at once together. Okay, anyhow, I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked, but 3 hours, we're going to get rid of hours. So hours is going on the bottom. We're trying to get to seconds, so that's going to the top. All right. So then what we do is we set up our conversion factor. So out of hours and seconds, which one is larger? It's the hour. So we're going to put a 1 there. Okay. And then we have to see how many of the smaller unit goes into the larger unit. And again, with the English system measurement, that's when you got to memorize all these weird numbers like 5,280, 16 ounces in a pound. I learned something about called the Gallon Man or something like that, which I'd never heard of, but you guys remember it. So I don't know what. Maybe we need to do something like that for chemistry. But in 1 hour, how many seconds are there? There's 60. Okay, so what we're going to do, the way it works from here on out, is we're going to do 3 times 60 divided by 1. That's just the numbers. So when we do that, what we get is let's just do it together. So we combine it. So 3 hours times 60 seconds over top of 1 hour. All right. And so what we can do then is just do the math. And because we have hours on the top and the bottom, what do? They eliminate. All right. So once we do everything and combine everything, let's just go to the next step here. 180 and hours divided by seconds or times seconds over top of 1 hour. So then we can eliminate, we can do the 180 divided by 1, which equals 180. All right. An hour divided by an hour, they eliminate, and we're left with 180 seconds. So 3 hours then equals 180 seconds. Okay. So just let me double check here. Okay. So that problem was 0.035 micrograms or milligrams equals how many centigrams? Okay. All right. So let me use a different colored here, just so we can keep. So we'll do the Clemson colors here. How about that? Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so 0.035 milligrams, and it wants to know how many centigrams that would be. So I'm not going to be as in depth with my steps here, but so we want to get rid of the milligrams, and we're going to centigrams. Okay. So which one of those two is larger? It's the centigram. Okay. And how many millis, how many milli into centi? Okay. If we look back to our sheets, or if you think about a ruler, okay, how many millimeters are there in 1 centimeter? There's 10. Okay. So our conversion unit here is 10. Okay. So we do our math. 0.035 times 1 divided by 10. All right. So I got another little tool that I was taught in class. It's my first time using it, so try not to make too much fun of me here. Let's see. What was it? Okay. So what is a keyboard thing?